What's up, everybody? My name is George. Today I'm going to tell you about my initial reactions on the new game mode Outbreak that's out for Cold War right now. This is really the first game mode that released in the middle of a game like cycle where I decided to hop in right away. I was very hesitant on game modes like Blackout and Warzone just because I wanted to see how other people reacted before I really hopped in myself. But I really decided I need to make my own opinion about this, hop in, not have to hear what anyone else thinks, and try to make the most of what I can gather from this. So it is basically an open world zombies game, which obviously I'm a huge zombies fanatic, but I'm really into open world games as well. I love the fact that you get rewarded for exploration. Some of my favorite games like God of War and Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, have such beautiful worlds that I loved exploring and diving hundreds of hours into each of those games. It was truly incredible. So was not trying to get as hyped up thinking this is going to be as beautiful as Breath of the Wild. I just really like the concept of an open world zombies where you can progress as you want rather than a round based game. My main worry when it came to this game mode, looking into it, was it was going to be so similar to zombies now that there would have been not much difference at all. Comparing it kind of like gun game was to regular team deathmatch, where yeah, you're trying to get as many kills as you can, but obviously gun game has its own spin to it. This doesn't feel like that. It actually feels like exploring is supposed to be rewarded. The only problem is there's not a lot to be rewarded. I mean, sure, you have a bunch of crates all over the place, you have extra points, you have a couple side objectives, but there's just not enough. I feel like 90% of this game is empty space, and it's kind of boring once you do all your side objectives and then the main objective. There's not much that really keeps you in the same area for long. I'm the kind of guy who thinks that if you have an open world, it should be rewarded to explore every inch of it. Find every single point, find every single weapon that you can buy off the wall. Find the little Easter eggs that, maybe give you a free perk or something like that. I just don't think that everything is there yet. But there's so much to be improved upon the game mode that has just been introduced in this game. So we'll see where this has to take on. When it comes to gameplay, I think that this fits the Cold War engine perfectly. I felt like if this was added onto any other game, like Black Ops 3, it would not have been the same at all. I mean, the vehicles work seamlessly with the open area. It helps me get from one place to another without any effort whatsoever. It's so much fun just to run over zombies with a snowmobile or something like that, that it kind of feels like it was, always meant to be. And also, the whole, no perk limit whatsoever fits perfectly because you don't have to worry about perk locations at all. Whereas other games, you need the layout of each map to fit perfectly with the perk locations. You take 9, for example, from Black Ops 4. That was perfect in map layout. It was superb. There was nothing that could have been done. It had a 4 perk limit. You could only equip those 4 perks, and each perk was its own location on the map. It was incredible. Whereas in this map, you don't have to worry about it because you could just get everything from the Wonder Fizz and not have to worry about, okay, I need to find the Jug Machine. I need to find Stamina Up or something like that. This really was a benefit for Outbreak. So the new features that they add into this map include new weapons, which come as a gimme when it comes to new seasons in Call of Duty. They added a new specialist where once upon activated, you attract all zombies to your location and all the hit points go to your armor, which I think is a very unique idea. Trying to use yourself kind of as a distraction while your team focuses on an Easter egg or something is actually a pretty good idea. And they added a new ammo mod, which I'm very questionable about. It is an ammo where a random bullet can do explosive damage to a zombie. Which my thought is, what if it's like a shotgun and you're really close? Do you take explosive damage? Like, is it like a double-edged sword like that? Because if it is, it really puts a hinder on what to use it with. Like, I would never put that on a shotgun. But yet again, it is always optional. I think it's actually, a nice change of pace. If you want to get something that's really damaging for something that's a long range weapon, I think it's perfect. I think you equip down something kind of like an M16 or maybe a DMR or something. You get that ammo mod on, and you're able to absolutely obliterate specialist zombies from far away. When it comes to the layout itself, the maps seem kind of bland in my opinion. I mean, I played only a couple games of this so far, but my initial reaction was, that's it? I mean, there were a couple side objectives for each map that you were teleported to, but that was about it. I mean, once you got those done, there was really not much else to do. Sure, you can explore for every single free points that you can find, or maybe look for all the extra equipment around the area. But other than that, there was not much to look for on these maps. I mean, I found the objectives to be so much fun. Like the Dragon Head, I'm so surprised that they decided to bring that back of all things. And it works out perfect. You finish feeding the Dragon Head, and it does exactly what you think it would do, and give you a reward. And it's actually not a bad reward. It is, appropriate for a Dragon Head. And another thing that they do is like these lockdowns. You activate this crate, and you have a certain lockdown that you have to kill all these specialist zombies in order to get the reward that's in it. Which, in my opinion, is also another great reward. I wish that they would put maybe like two or three more of these around the map, and it would be perfect to explore each corner of the map. Find little trinkets along the way. Because where it is right now, it feels like everything's on one side of the map, and the other side of the map is very bland. So I wish that there would be updates in the future which improve upon the amount of things that you can do in these maps. However, the biggest feature that they added with the new update are the new tier systems when it comes to the perks, the guns, the ammo mods, and the specialists. And I think, in my opinion, it works very well for the perks, but it's just boring for the guns. I mean, the guns, you get armor penetration and you get certain damage increase, which is kind of almost a gimmick. They didn't really think of anything unique that you can do with the guns. Like, it just felt like they were like, okay, people want more powerful guns. This is the solution. Whereas instead of thinking of something new, like maybe they can make it so that the shotguns have more range on them, or maybe that the assault rifles, you know, shot faster, or maybe SMGs had more range or something like that. It didn't feel like they tried to fit that in at all. It felt like, okay, people want more damage, they want more armor penetration. We'll just add it to every single one of the guns. And that was the main problem too. Every single tier 4 and 5 of the weapons are the same. They're all armor penetration or and a certain kind of damage increase, whether it be critical damage, which is like headshots, or it be like close range when it comes to like shotguns. However, I think that the perks are a blessing in disguise when it comes to this new update. You had the new tier 4 or 5 system, which basically adds the modifiers from Black Ops 4. The only redeeming factor about Black Ops 4 besides the Carpenters in there, and you add them into the tier 4 and 5s. Speed Cola is so much better. People are going to start buying this as like their second or third perk, whereas people like me usually buy it as like my fifth. And Deadshot, I never bought Deadshot. I hated buying Deadshot. I would always get in like a reward or something like that. Now, I actually want to spend the 5,000 points if I get it up to tier 5, because it gives me a 20% damage boost if I get a string of headshots together, which is insane when it comes to damaging. Like, you see the stats up on the screen. I'm doing 174 with a shotgun. Headshot will probably be around 350. If I string all those together, I can get that up to 420 unpack a punch shotgun. And I could just continue to spray that in the later rounds. If I get pack a punch, I could probably hit up to like the 2000s with a single weapon, which is insane when it comes to a damage boost like that. Deadshot really redeems itself with this new Tier 4 and 5 system. Overall, I don't see it standing as its own game mode yet. There's so much that can be added into this game mode to make it feel like that it is good enough to stand on its own. I mean, you look at where zombies started, people didn't think that would be good enough because it felt like just another lockdown, special ops kind of game where you would try your best to survive for as long as possible. But eventually, with all the updates, all the new maps, all the new weapons that they got, zombies became so big that they're actually planning a new solo game just dedicated to zombies, which I think is incredible for something that started off with Nocturne and Totem. If they do the same with Outbreak, if they put the same amount of love and care as they did with zombies, that they continue to add maps, add new guns, add new objectives that you have to do, add Easter eggs into this that people absolutely love and die for, then I definitely see this turning out to be much more than just another side game in Call of Duty that gets forgotten in the dust. So that's gonna do it for me. Please leave in the comments what you guys think. I, like I said before, I don't think that this is a perfect game mode. Maybe you do. Please don't hate me for my opinions. And like and subscribe if you really enjoy this. And I'll see you guys in the next one.